Straight from South Africa. This is the strange and mysterious world with your hosts, Lee Stratum and William Collinson.
Welcome to Season 1, Episode 16. This is the Strange Mysterious World. I'm William and Lee. You were saying to me yesterday that you hiked with your equipment for 10 kilometers for the photo shoot.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a hike.
What did you do?
I was filming. It was a factory that makes Ford and Toyota spring coils, right?
Yeah.
So I said, this is the diversity in my work.
Okay.
So it's like from shooting, a cool thing about like Mermaids of Africa or like some feature film, narrative thing to do something as the odd job where I got to go and film some corporate video or something. So anyway, there's a factory that makes Ford and Toyota spring coils, like shock coils. So I had a factory. And it's this huge factory, and they just like got all of these machines bending springs and coils and the paint thing and the whatever. So yeah, we walked around that factory filming all of this stuff. And when I looked at my counter thing on my health counter on my phone, I'd walked 10 kilometers carrying all that.
Yes.
So
but
yeah,
okay, so you're shooting an advert or what's going on?
No, it's just a video for their marketing team so they can take it all around the world showing people like we make spring.
Okay.
This is our factory.
And what time did you start yesterday?
Well, yesterday wasn't so bad. I started at 7, but the day before that I started at 5.
Okay.
And then I was flying the drone through this factory, and then there was like
You were flying a drone in the factory.
Yeah, and then I think all of the metal things around and everything it completely messed up the signal of it, and the drone just went on its own mission. And it went and smashed into the one of the pillars and fell like 2 stories down and broke. And then the producer was like all upset. He's like, no, well, we're supposed to have the drone the whole day. Now what are we going to do? So then we had to send it to this guy in Benoni.
Yeah.
Nigel's like a really shitty area in Joburg. We sent it to Benoni, and this guy that fixes drones there. He fixed it in like 2 hours. He replaced all the parts, and we had it back on the shoot in 2 hours. A miracle. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So, what did it break? Just the propeller and stuff like that.
Well, the propellers broke. The gimbal on the camera broke.
Yes, gimbal's expensive though, but
yeah, it was quite.
Tell me something. The Miami UFO the Miami alien incident. Did you hear anything about it?
Yeah. So that was there were some like 10-foot dark figures that appeared in the middle of a mall.
Yeah, so apparently these 3 guys came into the mall, and they had this black box that they put on the floor. They pushed some button, and these 3 apparent shadow figures came out of the box. And they were about 10 foot tall, and there were 3 of them. And these things were apparently like shimmering in and out of. It sounds like they were holographic.
Yeah, I mean, like
that's what it sounds, because it sounds like they were shimmering in and out of reality. It's like when they were walking, it was like they were shimmering. So it sounded like some sort of 3D project going on there.
But that's the funny thing, because it was such a huge thing, and there was like hundreds of cops. So I don't know, the pictures, you never know what's real or not. But there was all these pictures of the cop cars, like hundreds of cop cars going there, and there was all this huge uproar. And then I was listening to some of the witnesses on the X, formerly known as Twitter. What do you like tweets now called kisses, like because it's like X's, kisses.
Really?
No, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, what would you call it? A tweet now?
No, because that is a kiss. A tweet. Hey, I'm kissing you, man. This is the whole woke. It's the whole woke thing, man.
So on
guys kissing guys.
Yeah, they were just kissing everything. So on Kiss, I saw like some testimonies of seeing these things, and they were terrified. They were like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, you don't understand. I saw this thing, and it was 10 foot tall. It was going in and out of phase." And people say, why don't you film it? But it's like when you're in that and you're so scared, you can't take out your camera because you just want to survive or whatever. So it seemed very credible, the witnesses. But then, and then I heard it was just some kids fucking around. I don't know. You never know what to tell. What did you hear?
Well, I did a bit of research on it. And all the videos that came up, there was nothing to show what these things were, first of all. There was a lot of apparent eyewitnesses that kind of all sort of explained similar stuff, shadow beings. The one guy that I listened to mentioned that he was with, I think he was with his girlfriend, and I think they were with his autistic son or nephew or something, and he was yelling blanky, and I don't know. There was, when he gets afraid, and they were all they saw people running in one direction, and they were screaming, and they were running away from these entities. But then you see this camera footage of all these police outside, all the Miami police. I think there must have been at least about 100 vehicles out there, which kind of led credence to the whole incident. So I'm thinking, when I saw this originally, I thought, hey, man, this is so cool. This is like kind of what we've been waiting for. And then, when you hear the stories that are coming out a little later, I'm like disappointed because no one took footage, which is not normally possible. I mean, if you've got 500 to 1,000 people, somebody's going to take footage somewhere along the line. Somebody's got to be an idiot that's going to turn around and take some footage.
In the mall, I mean, like, surely every single mall in America is so highly.
They should actually have. That's a good point. They should actually have
like
cameras.
Surveillance. They're so surveillance. I mean, every mall in South Africa has got a bloody camera on every bloody corner of every roof. I mean, or every shot. Like, there's no way that they get away with not seeing something on a surveillance camera in a mall.
Exactly. But then I heard. I mean, I was watching a couple of videos, and I was for 15 minutes, dude. I'm listening to this guy saying how shit scared he was and blah, blah, blah. And then right at the end, he says, oh, no, I'm talking shit. And I'm like, you've just wasted 15 minutes of my effing time listening to your BS. So then I see another woman. Now she's doing the same thing. Oh, no, we ran away. And she sounded so realistic. I thought, she's okay. This is, and then at the end, no, I'm only talking cock. I'm making it up. Yeah, she said the same thing. I'm making it up. I'm like,
what do you think it's like a whole?
So are people seriously trying to? Are they so starved of attention that they're trying to get the likes on their stupid? What's it called? Kiss.
Kiss, yeah.
Kiss 101. What's it? What's it?
Kiss.
Twitter.
Kiss.
What?
Yeah.
What's the new name for it? You said
Kiss.
No. You were saying what was it called previously? Twitter. What?
Yeah, Twitter. X.
So Twitter, you say now it's called X. Sorry, I thought it was Kiss 101. But it's seriously. I mean, who comes up with this shit?
But seriously, it's funny because maybe that's just like a whole lot of people have been like to make a cover up or whatever to make up those videos to discredit it.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't know because all the videos that are coming out is just like seriously dumbass. No. I mean, you've got this one guy. He's actually filming himself. Okay, so he says, "No, man, my dad works in the cops. I'm gonna interview him. I'm gonna get him on the phone now." So obviously he's friends, and he phones his dad. Apparently, it's his dad, and he says, when the dad picks up the phone, he says, "Hey, dude, tell me what was happening at the mall." And the parent father says, "No, I can't tell you." And he's like, "No, come on, dude, tell us." But who the F calls his dad dude? Eh? Who calls your dad dude? Surely you'd say, "Dad, hey, what's going on here?" This not, "Hey, dude," you know.
You say,
so hey, that was a bollocks video as well. And then they had this footage outside with the helicopters where it looked like these shadow beings. But if you zoom in properly, there's 3 people walking next to each other. And then the reason why all the cops were there, okay, because now they're pointing out the fact, no, but there were so many police at the Miami Mall. The reason for that was somebody let off fireworks in the mall. What sounded like gunshots. So they thought there was a terrorist attack going on. So the whole bloody police department came down on the mall. Oh, that's the reason the cops were there.
Yeah, I heard about the fireworks thing. There was fireworks. And then the next minute there was like 4 10-foot beans. See, I'm saying 4.
Yeah.
There was actually only 3. I don't know. See the tour.
Yeah, apparently only 3. Yeah. So the stories are going around. But yeah, that's the Miami. So that day, originally when I first heard it, when it first came out, I thought, because it came on news as well. I thought, hey, geez, this is interesting. This is something we don't normally hear. Only to find out it's one big bollocks hoax. So that was like a hell of a disappointing, dude. I was like really, really pissed off with that chair.
But then how's about that jellyfish that old Corbell brought out? There's also been doing the rounds there on Kiss.
Well, he's actually Kiss 101. He's got a new documentary coming out now.
Yes, I saw the docu-series. Actually, we must get on that and have a look at it.
Yeah, that looks actually pretty cool. Yeah, apparently that was a I'm going to say UFO because I hate the UAP wording.
Yeah, let's just stay with
Apparently,
it.
this was a UFO that was spotted by one of the balloons. It's like what do you call those surveillance balloons that were over Iraq, over the military base, because they've got cameras there to check on things.
Yeah, but
It wasn't on normal light. You had to see it through infrared. Yeah, you couldn't see it otherwise. So it was actually invisible. Now, what people are saying, oh no, it's balloons, and this one's saying
bird
no,
shit on
it's
the land.
yeah, it's not. You can't see it. People couldn't see it, dude.
Also, the thing is, it went off into the distance. It went off in the distance. But
Yeah.
then it was so funny
But then
because
it went into the water.
Jeremy Corbell was saying no, it just went into the water. It shot
It
like
did. It stayed there for 15, 20 minutes and it came out.
But then there was a guy on that was being interviewed on I think it was on News Nation or whatever. I don't know, but somebody credible, like one of the soldiers in the war thing there, he says no, he saw the whole video. Because Jeremy Corbell said after 14 minutes, that thing shot off into the water and stayed there, then shot out. I don't know, it was something like that. And then the guy said it was a 17-minute long video. Then they got the guy on News Nation saying, no, he was there. He saw the whole video, the whole 17 minutes, and that thing just cruised off into the distance very slowly and then went and disappeared. He didn't go into any water, didn't go any fast, it didn't do anything. So yeah, he knows.
Apparently, Jeremy's got the full footage, which he's going to release in his docuseries.
Hey,
where it goes into the water. So apparently he's going to show that. So that's actually
cool.
Look, that sounds credible.
You can't say, like, I mean, they get another credible guy that's actually he is, the background check him. He's in the war there. He is a soldier, and then he comes on and says, "No, he saw the whole video. There's none of that." And then it's like you don't know who to believe. So irritating.
Yeah. Look, I know they interviewed a couple of guys, and there were stories about this funny jellyfish UFO that they'd spotted on some occasions. It was like a myth.
Yeah,
they said that it was one of those things that, that's a myth. But yeah, you actually saw it. And look, it did move pretty slow. So it wasn't like it zoomed past the camera like you would expect UFOs. But again, it's on the infrared spectrum. We can't see it.
I mean,
we couldn't see it. So what the hell was that thing going across on the invisible spectrum?
A highly advanced civilization, like with, they probably think
what we've always been saying from day one.
Pretty advanced, I'm sure, designers out there, and what they came up with the jellyfish shape. I mean,
yeah,
really, like, I mean, it was one of our guys, like, that's working for like BMW or fucking whatever.
Yeah.
They would have looked pretty slick, and we're pretty like dumb compared to aliens. So I'm just like, I mean, they might be smart, but their creativity is pretty shit to make it like one of their most advanced technological crafts to look like a jellyfish. What do you think?
I suppose it doesn't make sense to be floating around looking like a jellyfish, eh? It's not something you would really design to be stuck in the air, a jellyfish.
I mean, the saucers were cool, and like the bars and but the jellyfish. I mean,
no. I'm wondering maybe if the stuff that's dangling off whatever is the main hub is maybe like some sort of sensors and stuff. Maybe it's technology that we've developed and that's kind of in the infrared spectrum that us humans have developed, and it's just like a sensor array. It just picks up sensors. It picks up certain things as it's floating over wherever. And it's at such high development that with a naked eye you can't see it. So that's why people weren't going off. It wasn't like, hey, check it out, and people trying to take photos of it.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't see it. So maybe it is something from our side.
Mm.
Have you ever heard of a project called Bluebeam?
Yes, that's the whole thing about they want to make the fake alien attack. Is that the one? Stephen is like onto that, but he's not involved in that whole Bluebeam conspiracy. But I can't remember where it started or what's.
Well, it started by a guy by the name of Serge Monaste, or Serge, what do you want to call it? I think he was Canadian. It actually originated in 1994. Right. This whole bloody Project Bluebeam. And his idea about it was there were 4 stages to this. The US government and some other entities were joined together, and they got to create something called a false flag operation. Now, you know what a false flag operation is?
9/11.
Yeah. So something similar. So for our listeners that don't understand what false flag operation is if the United States want to get involved in maybe a war, or they want to get involved in something, they will create an event that makes it look like the the opposite side created something. So they would then, okay, so let's take this as an example. In World War II, America was out of World War. They were out of the world. When Germany was invading Poland, when they were invading France, America was completely out of it at that time. They didn't care about it. No one was worrying because that was the complete opposite side of the world. Britain were worrying, and Britain were asking America for help, but America were like, it's got nothing really to do with us. And the American people didn't want to get involved. But the president wanted to get involved. So what did they do? They created something that would get the people upset enough to get into the war. And they created Pearl Harbor. So as much as people were saying, nah, this is not, for the Japanese to attack a US military base was just the stupidest move in history. You wouldn't do that. You don't want to go and wake up the sleeping giant. You want to keep him asleep and carry on with your war, win your war, and do what you need to do. You don't go and wake up a giant. So that there was orchestrated, that plan, that it's an invasion on Pearl Harbor. So that was their entrance into World War II. World War I, they had something very similar. Germany were at war with the rest of Europe. America were out of it. And then there was a couple of submarine attacks on US boats, and then they stepped in. Okay, so again, the Germans are not going to go and attack the Americans if they know that they don't want them in the war. Then we get to 9/11. So the presidents in that prior to that have been pushing to get to Iraq. They just wanted to go and invade Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan. They wanted to get them in there. The people were like, nah, not our war. Let them carry on doing their own thing. So what do? They create a false flag operation, and the towers came down. And with the towers coming down, they blamed the Muslim factions, and the people hated the Muslims thereafter, and it became a massive, massive backlash. So that there, for people who don't know what a false flag is, that's a false flag. It's when they create an event to get in somewhere, to into the war or into whatever it is that they wanted to do. So now, back onto Bluebeam. Bluebeam, the Americans, with whoever they are involved with, are wanting now to create an event, a false flag event. Now, there's a few theories as to this false flag. So the first thing is they're saying there's going to be an alien invasion, but it's a false alien invasion. It's actually going to be a holographic invasion. But anyway, before we get to that, it's an alien invasion. There's going to be an alien invasion. It's going to be set up, but it's going to be an alien invasion. And or the second coming of Jesus, supposedly. So it's got to be either one of the two. It's got to be the second coming and or an alien invasion. Okay, that's part one.
And have like a guy walking over the water, like over the Atlantic or something, and walking up the beach of California.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
In a row.
Right. Yeah. And then, so that's part one. So part one is to create the false flag. Part two is to use technology. So how they're going to create this false flag is using technology. And the way to do that is they want to create earthquakes. They want to create UFO sightings and other natural disasters in order to make people to believe that there's a massive cataclysm coming. So what's been happening over the past few years, the earthquakes are getting out of hand. The storms are getting out of hand. The hurricanes are getting out of hand. It's become, we're getting a lot more natural disasters apparently. And then obviously with the UFO sightings.
But yeah, I heard they wanted to project the UFO sightings with like projectors. That's actually brings us back to that thing that happened in the Miami Mall, that projector thing.
Yes, correct.
Like a test to see like what it would do.
So now apparently the Chinese have got some of these, and apparently I think it's in Times Square as well. They've got these lights that look 3D. There's one with a whale that actually looks like there's a whale in the water.
That's impressive. I've seen that.
And it's very good. So if you didn't know better and you were standing maybe at the sea and that thing was kind of nearby or close by, you would actually maybe think, geez, okay, you'd think twice about what the hell's going on there. Yeah. All right. So stage two would obviously involve then holographic images. Spacecrafts will be projected onto the skies, and this would obviously, the whole intention about this is to create panic amongst the population and confusion. Stage three then involves the use of
Project COVID.
Project
COVID. Didn't they already do that?
Project
COVID.
Okay, then there's more technology in stage three with fake religious event. So it's possible that we're going to have this supposed alien invasion, and then there's going to be this religious event where it's going to look like the Messiah or the prophet is coming back. Okay, and now all these people are going to turn to this Messiah or this prophet to help them with this alien attack. But apparently the prophet,
cool.
eh?
Wait, it sounds so cool. I mean,
but apparently this dude that they've got coming now is actually freaking Lucifer, the Satan, the
yes,
Antichrist.
I mean, that's what's all in the whole Bible, and everything has been predicting the Antichrist coming. So maybe this is the Antichrist. It's a holographic projection of Jesus.
Yeah.
Fighting
Well, that would be Antichrist, wouldn't it? The final stage basically involves the implementation of the New World Order, in which the world's governments will be replaced by a single authoritarian regime. Yeah. So once all the panic is created, you're going to have this Jesus type guy coming through to save the people. Everybody's going to fall in behind him because he's there to save the world, and he's going to have some miracles and show miracles. He's going to boot the aliens, and everybody's going to
we'll
praise this guy. In the meantime, he's the devil.
And then we'll have vaccines against the aliens. The old big pharma will jump on some vaccines for aliens, like, so we don't get alien thingies. And maybe we'll put a bit of holy water in. We get holy water vaccines for the Antichrist.
Yeah.
And then
for the Antichrist.
Yeah, then we'll be vaccinated against the aliens and the Antichrist.
Yeah. I think, the idea about that, though, the idea about this whole thing is they want to abolish the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish faiths. That's the main cause. What do we say in our prophecies?
We were talking about that the other day on other podcast.
Yeah, in our prophecies, we were chatting about
the three.
Correct.
What is it? The three would.
They would annihilate the three.
Annihilate the three. Yes.
Yeah. So that is it, dude. So there's your annihilation of the three.
Oh, Notre Dame. That was Notre Dame.
Yeah. No, that was
the blind chick.
No, I think it was Baba Vanga. Can't remember. Baba Vanga. Well, yeah, I think it was Baba Vanga.
Baba Vanga.
Yeah, I think it was Baba Vanga. But yeah, so that sounds a lot to what we were prophesizing for this coming year. And then obviously, once that happens, it's got to be replaced with a one world religion, which is based on the cult of man. So they try to get people away from the idea about God. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're standing on Project Bluebeam. But I think it's been going for a couple of years. So I think when the dude first arrived, when he was first doing it back in 1994, I think he thought it was going to happen in the space of a couple of years. But it's been growing, it's been building since then. So I think obviously technology at that stage for holographic images and stuff was pretty cuck. But so I think they've had to perfect all of that first.
There's the bunker story, like old Mark Zuckerberg and a whole bunch of elites are building these bunkers.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard about that.
They had to speed the process up, so we finished in the middle of this year. I mean, obviously you don't know if it's a load of shit or not, but that's quite interesting. That there's something going to happen. Jesus is going to fight the aliens. Those guys might need some bunkers, eh?
Yeah, but certainly, look, whatever's coming, I don't know. Again, with our prophecies of what we said and with what's happening now with this bloody Project Bluebeam, and look, it is a conspiracy theory, the Project Bluebeam. It's a heavy conspiracy theory, but it's not as conspiracy theory as this freaking flat Earth theory. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of the flat. Like, there's a documentary on Netflix called what is it? Behind the Curve. I think it's such a great name for a documentary. Like, if you.
Well, I was listening to this guy's called Globebusters on YouTube, dude. I'm like flabbergasted, to be honest with you. So I was on New Year's Day, we were at Friends, and somehow we got into talking about this. And one guy that is a friend of mine that I'm not going to mention names, Lee.
Lee as well.
Yeah, his name's Lee as well. He fucking believes the world is flat. I looked at him and I said, no, dude. He says, no, it isn't. He's like trying to convince me. I'm like, dude, no, come on, man. Honestly, when people told me that, and I went and researched, I did some Google research now over the last week. There is actually a group, and it's growing, a group of people that say the Earth is flat. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, are we heading back now to the Dark Ages? Even before the Dark Ages, where the people were actually so stupid they didn't actually understand any physics, any gravity. They didn't understand anything.
But that's the power of media. I mean, you could just make the crappiest document. Documentary of media is so strong that you can make people believe that the Earth's flat, and it doesn't even have to have a good production value. I mean, have you seen those videos of how they describe why the science, they so-called
Yeah.
science of what? I mean, those are the shittiest looking videos I've ever seen in my life. But the people, like, they buy it hook, line, and sinker. I mean, they
Yeah.
convince people, and it's like that's the power of media. I mean, you don't even have to have a big budget, and you can fucking make people believe whatever you want.
That's scary, dude, because apparently they were interviewing children, I think, from the age, this is in America, from the age of about 15
But
down, I think 15 to 10. Eh?
you can't point any fingers there because we believe in aliens. Eh?
No. But this is
Some
just
people, that's
okay.
pretty
So
crazy.
no. But there's a crazy, and then there's fringe science, and then there's just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, this falls in the fucking stupid bucket. Okay, this is just anyway. So they interviewed some American children from about the ages of 10 to 15. A lot of them, 64% believed that the Earth was a globe. The rest believed that the Earth was flat.
Oh my gosh! And they if you say
That's 36%, dude. That is fucking scary. Sorry for swearing a lot here, but that is scary. That 36% of those age kids believe that the Earth is flat, because these people are spilling their freaking garbage over social media. So my friend, so he says to me, all right. I said to him, why do you believe the world is flat? He says, all right, easy. If you look at the map, okay, if you look at a map of the world, and you look, say you're starting in America, and then from America, when you're flying, everybody flies one direction. So they fly from America to Europe or to Dubai, from Dubai down to Bali or to Africa or to Australia.
they don't go around the other side. I heard that.
They're not going the other way. Okay. So this is one of the reasonings. And I said to him, dude, do you actually know that there are 4 flights that leave LAX that go straight to New Zealand from there down? Okay. They go the opposite direction. They go over the Pacific. He's like, no, I said, dude, there are 4, and there's actually flights that go from Santiago across to New Zealand. Okay, it takes 13 hours.
What did
He was flabbergasted about that. I said, dude, so I think he started changing his mind a little bit. But seriously, why do
they want to know? Why do they want to believe that the Earth's flat? I don't understand why they even want to believe that. I mean,
you know what the problem is? I was listening to these globe busters. I was listening to them,
and also people are like trying to make us believe, like, just say that the Earth was flat, and they're trying to make us believe it's round. Why would they want to do that either? I mean, what is the motivation? Why? Well, who would be winning out of telling the Earth's flat or the Earth's round? What would be the big secret? Why would they want to make us believe either one?
So these flat Earth people are trying to say that the governments are talking shit to the people, which, yes, they do talk shit to the people, but not about freaking flat Earth. But they do. But I think this is their conspiracy theory to say they don't trust the government. That's my opinion.
Okay.
But anyway, so that map thing doesn't work. Okay, so that's out of the window. So that argument is now out. And then I was listening to the Globetrotters. And I'll be honest with you, the 3 guys that were presenting have got some sort of science that they talk about. And if you didn't know better, if you were not knowledgeable a little bit in science or biology or physics or chemistry, you might get caught up in what they're saying because they sound like they know what they're talking.
Yeah.
But there's a dude by the name of Professor Dave on YouTube. You must actually listen to this. Like, fuck, I laughed my ass off, dude, because everything they were saying, they were pointing to him. They were saying, "Yeah, Dave, this and Dave that. You're an asshole. This is what happens here, and this is what happens there." And he's a professor, dude. He's a professor in physics, professor in science, professor in fucking mathematics. He just nails them one way. I laugh my ass off because when you listen to his podcast, he kills them, dude. He like absolutely obliterates them out of the water with what they're saying. Basically saying everything they're saying, like he'd say something, they would say something to him, or they'd say something on the podcast about some sort of magnetism or whatever. And he'll say, no, that's incorrect. It's actually X, Y, and Z. If you knew physics, you would understand that X, Y, and Z, it's not A, B, and C. So go back and understand what you're trying to talk about before you start talking about it. So he nails them, Professor Dave. I love him.
It's flat ego. They go home with flat ego.
Yeah. So now, the thing is, these guys don't have a one working model. So that what they'll try and do is, if you look at what they're saying, I can't really show it to you now, but if you look at the Antarctica, according to the flat earthers, the Antarctica sits around the edge of the disk, because according to them, it's a disk, the Earth. So on the outskirt of the disk is the Antarctica. On the middle of the disk is the Arctic. And then the continents are kind of displayed out. So like you'll have Europe with Africa, and then you'll have, so it's like that sort of thing with Antarctica there. And then your thing's sitting around like that, the disk.
Yeah.
So now the guys, so now the Professor Davies says, all right, if your disk is sitting there and you wanted to fly from South Africa to South America, remembering now that South Africa is the furthest point before the Antarctica, and the tip of South America is the furthest point. The distance that you're showing on your disk is so far, it would take about 3 days to fly by plane. Do you know what they say? No, there's actually a belt. There's wind belts. There's different wind belts, and there's a wind belt on that one that travels something like 200 k's an hour. And the plane, and it pushes the plane along.
That's just so stupid.
And that is why it gets there at quick speed. I'm thinking to myself, for fuck's sake, seriously, who the fuck believes that? And he was saying, Professor Dave was saying, you know that 200 k's an hour is freaking hurricane winds, dude. Do you think a plane's going to be flying around in hurricane winds? Dude, I promise you, I was laughing so much when I was listening to this dude. So now one of the other things that they believe is, so you got your disk, there is a dome. It's like a glass dome. So I'm wondering, how do satellites go around? Because do they crash into the bottom of the Antarctic? Because, they go back and forth horizontally, vertically, all over the place. They don't just go in one direction. Satellites go all over the place. So are they hitting the edge of the dome? When you got meteorites that come through from space, are they breaking the glass and then landing? I don't understand that whole. They
think there's a glass dome. There's a glass dome over.
They think there's a glass freaking dome there. Yeah.
Why would they want to believe that though? I mean, what is the point?
Dude, I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous. That's why I thought it was actually a joke. When somebody told me, I thought, no, man, these hoax must be a joke. And they believe that the sun. Listen to this.
Yeah.
There's some of the guys believe that the sun is only 50 kilometers in diameter. Okay, and it sits about 5,500 meters from the dome. So it's this tiny little sun that sits above the dome. I don't know. I'm just thinking to myself, these oaks obviously didn't get past grade 1. I think they got stuck.
That's embarrassing.
Their kid, I think they did homeschooling. Sorry for those people that did homeschooling. And their mom probably didn't understand anything. And she took them to matric, but they were learning maybe grade 1 science. I don't know. I can't fucking explain it.
No, I mean, what the fuck? I mean, has they ever gone to the ocean and just looked out and seen that the ocean looks like it ends because it's obviously curved, so that
No, but they're saying no, because if you look out from where we're standing, it looks straight. Honestly, dude, I don't know. And there was some people, I can't remember, Samuel, somebody the other, back in the 18, I think it was the 1840s or something, went and did this stupid experiment out in I think it was the Netherlands. He put a telescope on this boat, and he went with the boat, and it went in a straight line. And to that experiment apparently proved that the Earth it proved to him that the Earth was flat, but he didn't understand anything about gravity, didn't understand anything. Now, talking about gravity. Okay, so if your Earth is a disk, how are we staying on the disk? Because if there's no gravity, we all should be floating in the air. So one of the explanations is that the Earth or the disk is actually accelerating up. So that's what's keeping us down. So, which basically means it would be out of the solar system quite quickly, dude. Okay, so that's one, and then there's another. It's called electromagnetic, something other. It's some sort of magical electromagnetic thing that's keeping us down.
But I mean, that sounds like even more crazy than if the world was. I don't know. It just sounds so like.
But that's what I'm saying. I actually thought it was a joke when somebody mentioned this stuff. I honestly thought when I heard them and listened to them, I actually thought it was a joke. I thought they were joking.
They never caught an airplane before. I mean, when you're out there and you look out the window, you can see the curvature of the Earth, and you can't.
You can. But they're saying, no, that's to do something with the sight and I don't know, some stupid. Oh, that's another thing about planes. They're saying when a plane, how they proved that the Earth is flat is when a plane is flying in the direction to wherever it's going. This one oak puts a level on his table, you know, where they eat from?
Yeah.
Puts a level there. And from the time it was in the air to the time to the time just before it started coming in, it was level. And he says, yeah, you see, it shows you that the Earth is flat because if it's going to be at an angle, if it's going to be curved or round, the plane is supposed to have its nose dipped to follow the curve.
Oh my gosh.
But again, this oak understands nothing about gravity, because if your plane's nose was curved, you would be crashing into the ground because gravity will be pulling you in at a constant. So the plane has to keep at a certain distance so that it doesn't fall. If that makes sense. Fuck, dude, I don't know. I was so.
They need to take these guys off YouTube. I mean, you can't laugh at a guy in a dress, but then you get cancelled. But then you got these lunatics going on like that. I mean,
but the problem is, dude, that they're teaching people what is actually so wrong, and we're actually going backwards. We're actually not even moving forward. And you know, the other thing is, how many scientists in the world, dude? How many scientists, physicists, astronomers? How much money have they spent on the Galileo projects? How much money have they spent on all these things going to the moon? How much money have they spent on Voyager? How much money? How many trillions?
And you've just watched a few YouTube videos and you want to take them.
Yeah, but how many trillions of dollars per year are spent on paying salaries or building equipment for what? For what purpose? To launch it into the dome so it doesn't come back, and then you've just spent $20 trillion.
They should go out there to go watch the dome so that the sun doesn't like.
Dude, I don't know. I'm like, I couldn't actually believe that someone believed that. Honestly, because we've come so far. I think it was who was it? Was it Pythagoras? I think it was Pythagoras and those oaks that I think it was Pythagoras that had come through with the fact that the Earth was, because of the measurements. Oh, and another theory of the flat Earth thing is they said it was square. Some of the guys think the Earth is square. Yeah, but now the problem is with that is when the Earth goes across the moon for eclipse, the shadow, it shows you that it's round. So the square thing, that falls out the window.
Jeez,
you know what I mean? So it's, dude, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it was back in the Greek times when they actually already figured out that the world is freaking rounded.
So, and then with your buddy Lee, are you still like talking? What's happening with old Lee?
Nah, he'll probably listen to this and tune me.
Sorry,
Lee. Sorry, dude.
You never want to show him, like talk and laugh at him.
Maybe his name's got to tune me. I was only joking. But dude, I don't know.
Actually, he has the same name as you. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, he does. Yeah. No, he's an arsehole. He's actually pretty cool. That's it, man. Hey, I went to go and see that movie. What was it? Beekeeper. The one with Jason Statham.
Okay. How was that?
Freaking brilliant, dude. It was absolute. What a brilliant movie, yeah. It was a very John Wick type, so there's a lot of deaths. I think he kills like 10 oaks every 10 seconds.
Ah, cool.
So it is obviously like very far-fetched, but I enjoy that kind of stuff, like the John Wick and that. I really enjoy that. But what a good movie, yeah. What a good movie.
Oh, you see it on the big screen?
Yeah, I saw it at the Pavilion. So it was very good.
Thank you.
Definitely worth a watch. I give that a 9 out of 10 without a doubt.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so we get a chance to watch it. I know you don't enjoy movies because you work with movies.
Yeah, I know. That's cool.
And the last thing you want to do is actually go and watch a movie.
And it's like work for me.
Eh?
It's like working.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
No, cool, man. Yeah, look, we had a bit of a different one tonight. Next week's episode, we chatting to Seth. He's an astronomer for SETI. So we've got that interview coming up for next week Tuesday. But yeah, we thought we'd keep it up a little bit, give you guys a bit of information as to what's new on the UFO side and the alien things, and what's coming up. Hopefully with Bluebeam, hopefully not. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. To the Flat Earth Oaks, if you're listening, guys, sorry, man, go and pick up a textbook and go and read a bit, understand the maths.
Edgar KCD, he used to sleep with the books on his head. All the information.
I tried that. I tried it the other day, dude. I put it under my pillow. I put a
No,
book
no,
under my
no.
pillow.
Now
To see
you're
if
sounding like a flat earther.
nothing happened. But
You're sounding
damn it. Yeah. But I have been meditating every night for
You
15 minutes. Eh?
you wake up
Every
with a
night.
flat head. You wake up with a flat head.
Hey? I wake up with a headache. No, cool. Well, it's been lekker to chat to you. I know you're tired. I know you've had a long day today, but it's been nice to chat to you. And
Yeah,
for the rest of the guys out there, for all our listeners, again, appreciate you listening. Appreciate the time that you take to download and to listen to us on all the podcast services. So thanks again, guys. And we'll chat to you next week with Professor Seth from SETI. So have a good evening, guys. Chat soon.
some buggers.